The first major exposure to this region in terms of football came in 1924 when the United States participated in that year's Olympics football tournament. The US was able to get a win against Estonia, but would later fall to eventual winners Uruguay. The US and Mexico would both appear at the 1928 Olympics football tournament. Unfortunately, both would suffer horrible losses. Mexico would fall to Spain with a score of 1-7, while the US had it worse, an 11-2 scoreline against Argentina. Thankfully, the US would sort of redeem themselves once the inaugural 1930 World Cup would come around. I can't say the same for Mexico. The 1930 World Cup didn't have any qualifiers. Initially, all nations that were FIFA members at the time were all invited, but around 12 nations actually said yes. So, there was other stuff happening around the tournament, and I'll talk about that in another series. For now, I just want to note that the United States and Mexico were the only ones from the North America region to accept and participate in the tournament. So after some time has passed, the 1934 World Cup was then around the corner, and qualifiers actually took place because more FIFA members actually wanted to participate. The US and Mexico would return to participate in the qualifiers, this time joined by Cuba and a wild Haiti. The qualifiers were separated into 3 groups. In the first round, Cuba would face and defeat Haiti. In the second round, Mexico would face and beat Cuba. And in the final round, the US would face and beat Mexico, giving the US the sole regional ticket to the 1934 World Cup. The 1938 World Cup qualifiers for the region was sad. Well, I shouldn't say just for the region, just overall for the world. The US, Mexico, and Cuba would all return alongside debuting Costa Rica, El Salvador, Dutch Guyana, or modern-day Suriname, and Colombia, for some reason. Unfortunately, with clear tensions happening a year before the Second World War, 6 nations withdrew from the qualifiers, essentially giving Cuba a bye to its first and so far only World Cup appearance. A World Cup appearance is a World Cup appearance, but it's kind of, I don't know, it has to feel kind of like not as savory when you know that your nation's only World Cup appearance was because nobody else wanted to go. And not only that, Cuba and Indonesia are the only nations to have this stat, and it was for this exact same World Cup, 1938. India would have had it as well in 1950 when they qualified, but they actually withdrew, so they kind of saved themselves in a way. Now, I noticed, yes, this video is actually going to be kind of short. But that's because I don't want to talk more about 1950, because before 1950, stuff was actually happening over at CONCACAF from 1938 to 1950. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in the next video. Bye.